call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hey girl, just checking in. Are you still in bed? Get up, we have work to do. Don't forget, the workers are few, but the harvest is plenty.
Today's topic, I believe, is one that most people think about. Me, for example, I do think about it a lot. But then I feel like most people feel they would be judged if they do open up about how they feel about this particular topic. Today's topic in question is, can we question God and still have faith? Have you ever questioned God, bro?
Personally,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of times about a lot of things.
For example.
I think most of my questions are around like my future and what God has in store for me. Like, what am I going to be? I feel like short term things look like they're okay, but then I worry a lot about the future. So I question like God a lot about what the future holds.
Same, me too. Do you feel like the questions that you ask, do you think do you feel genuinely that they do get answers? Like they get answered? Do you get answers when you ask God these questions?
Not immediately. And then there are also some questions that I've not had answers for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how can you tell when God is answering you? Like this answer is from God.
Or like for the ones that I've received answers for.
Yes.
I think I like scenarios. So let me just look at scenario. So let's say you ask God about, let's just say when we're in like primary school, you ask God about what do you want me to do in the future. Literally, we are living in what we used to pray for, right?
Yeah.
And those questions we used to ask God now don't seem like they were valid questions,
Yeah.
but at that time they
Yeah.
were like. Yeah, so you know in the moments when you're living in it that you are living in like answered prayer or like
So
you're
like later when it happens, that's when you realize.
Yeah.
So that means in the moment or like in the near future is like not too far from when it's happening. But then if you are using like let's say SHS for an example, and then now it's not a near future, is it? It's like quite far. So does it mean that you felt like you were never like God never answered any of your questions up until now?
Oh, I think he did.
So how could you tell?
How could you tell?
Because you're not living in them yet, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's difficult to answer. How would you respond to that?
Because me, I feel like as you said, like when you are living in the moments, that's when you can tell that okay, God is like actually answering these like questions that you're asking him. But in the moment, I feel when I ask God a question, most of my questions I ask God are like, should I do this or should I do that? So in the moment, if I decide, I pray about it, if I decide to do this and then this gives me peace, then I can tell that okay, it's from God. If it doesn't give me peace, it's not from God.
Yeah, I didn't want to sound vague by saying you feel some sort of peace about it.
But I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, that's the best way to explain it. Like there are certain things that you pray about and then or you ask or you question God about and then you have a sensation of peace about or like a bit of this actually is going to work out. That's in a way is like
an answer.
Those questions that you have.
Like, I mean, I think for some people it's actually difficult to be able to tell. Like, okay, but then I feel like if you actually look within and like rest, like relax, you can be able to tell that this thing I'm feeling is peace. It's not like just some normal thing I'm just feeling.
Yeah, that's true.
The times you've questioned God, right? Did it make you feel like you were doing something wrong, or like your faith wasn't strong enough? No.
I feel like we talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
But I feel like questions strengthen our faith in a way. It's more like getting to know someone, right? Like when you're getting to know someone, you ask them questions to get to know them. And questioning things that God is doing in your life or not doing in your life is
Mm-hmm.
also a way for you to know God and know what He's doing in your life as
Mm-hmm.
well. So like having questions about yeah, like we said, like your future. It's not you like doubting God or like being shaking your faith. It is
Yeah.
strengthening your faith.
Yeah. But then what you said
Okay.
about like asking questions, you're getting to know someone, right?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like when I get to know someone, you might be asking the person certain questions like continuously, and the person might find it annoying. Like, is it that you don't trust me? Why are you asking me these questions?
Okay.
So in that particular situation,
Mm.
is it actually strengthening your relationship with the person, or is making it seem like you have so much doubt, you keep
Yeah,
asking so
yeah.
many questions?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um there's a difference between like asking someone a question that you genuinely want to know about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference also with asking a question which challenges who they are.
True.
So, like, are you challenging who God is and what He's
True.
doing
So
in your
there's a
life?
thin line.
There's a thin line
Yeah.
between that. So,
True.
like, is you questioning with the fact that I want to know,
Mm-hmm.
or you questioning like, I don't think you can do this.
So you need
So,
to ask yourself like these
like that,
questions.
like,
Am I
what's the
asking because
intention?
exactly that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Do you think, right, for like the average human being or the average Christian, do you think it's easier to ask questions or it's easier to follow blindly, like follow faith, like follow in faith?
No, no, no. I want to answer this in a
Mhm.
way that because I feel like people are different,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think it would be easier for me to follow blindly
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to know.
Yeah. It's like that's why people say that it's better to believe there's a God and then God will
And then
actually
get,
come than to
yeah,
not believe that there's a
exactly,
God and then like
exactly that.
yeah.
Like I just want to follow blindly.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't ask questions,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time I would want to follow blindly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people who would really want to question things and like
Mm-hmm.
um know what the next steps are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not them like having doubts or not believing in God. It's just like, what do I do next? How do I take this next step?
True.
Yeah, I think it really depends on like
Mm-hmm.
personality.
But because I strongly believe some people it's easier for them to ask like a lot of questions than
Yeah,
to just follow blindly. Because
yeah,
following blindly is tough for them. Like,
yeah,
how can I just not know this and be
yeah,
following this? Like, it doesn't make any
exactly.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Do you think our questions, the harmless questions that we ask, or do you
Mhm.
think they threaten him? Not at all.
I don't think so. It's like I don't think God gets threatened by our questions.
So
Like,
how do you think it makes him feel?
first of all, God is who He is. Like, He really is Him. Like,
He's that guy.
like I don't understand. Like I don't think he would feel threatened by whichever question, right? But then it also boils down to what we're talking about
The
as what
intention.
your intention
Mm-hmm.
behind it is and what your motive is.
Mm-hmm.
So are you questioning him in the sense of like you
Challenging
you're
him.
challenging him or you're questioning him to get to know what is
Who he is,
yeah and what his
what his
intentions
plans
are
are for
towards
you. Yeah.
yeah.
So like I was when I was doing my research, right? I was trying to like find like biblical examples
Yeah.
or people, men of God in the Bible that actually question God, and I
Mm.
did see like a lot
Yeah.
because like me growing up, one thing that I've always like been very particular about is like questioning God. It's like if I ask a question or if let's say like something is supposed to happen, like a word has been taken over my life and it's not happening, sometimes I do like wonder, I'll be asking myself, but it's like I'm kind of scared to think. When I start thinking it and I stop myself from thinking it, because it's like I'm in the middle. Am I supposed to like think about it? Or I'm not supposed to think about. Am I supposed to like ask the question? I'm not supposed to ask the question. But then I read and I saw stories about David, Job, Gideon, Jeremiah,
Yeah.
and then I realized that they also did ask questions, but then they asked questions to ask like to seek answers from God, like to
Yeah.
understand certain things. Why am I
Yeah.
going through this? But
Mhm.
in as much as they were like asking all these questions, they were still like devoted to God. They're still faithful. They were still like believing in who He was.
Yeah.
But they just wanted to know, like, get a clear understanding of yeah, why have you forsaken me? Even Jesus at
I
the
was going to
cross.
mention that.
Why have you forsaken me? Why are these things happening to me? Like are you going to come through? But it wasn't like they didn't like believe in who he was. They still did. So it kind of gave me like a calm, made me understand it better, and then yeah, give me more insight on this topic.
Yeah. It's good to ask questions.
Have you? Is there a particular question, right, that you've been scared to ask God, like growing up or now, whenever? Like this question that you're like,
scared to ask God.
and I'm afraid to ask God. It's a taboo. It's blasphemy. Like, is there a particular question?
Can't think of any right now. But I think maybe when I was younger, I thought it was. Did I think that? Maybe I did. I probably thought it was wrong to ask God if He existed.
True, that's one thing to hear.
Yeah.
You know the whole Muslim and Christian thing. And sometimes
Yeah.
like when the Muslims are like talking about it, and then they be saying those things that they say all the time, and I'm like, should I listen to what these people are saying and ask some questions, or I should just? I'm like, nah. I don't want to ask anything. It's okay. Like let them believe what they want to believe, and let me also believe in what I want to believe. But do you think we're supposed to be actually like learning about the Muslim culture or the Muslim religion, sorry, and then like all the other religions to understand ours better? Do you think we're supposed to do that, or just focus on our religion and mind our business?
I think it's important to know what other people believe in if you want to talk to them about their faith. So if I want to talk to a Muslim about their faith, I can't just. I mean, I would be curious to ask them what they believe and why they believe what they believe, and then I also tell them why I believe what I believe as well, because it's like all of us like our spiritual journey. And if you want to minister to someone, or if you want to share the gospel with someone, it's better you understand
True.
what they believe in,
True.
because you can't just like go in blindly.
Yeah.
So,
but doesn't it sometimes cause confusion?
If you
like having all this knowledge from this religion, that religion, because I have someone at work, right?
Yeah.
He's so educated in like all these like little things for religion wise that he's like, they'll see how scientists have this like knowledge about the world and the universe, so because that it's so difficult for them to believe in certain things that are related to Christianity. So it's like sometimes I feel like too much knowledge is not a good thing when it comes to
knowledge puffs up.
Yeah, it's a good thing when I mean, sometimes it's good, but sometimes I feel like it clouds your judgment. It makes you focus on things you're not supposed to be focusing on.
Yeah.
You agree?
I would say so.
Yeah. So like I don't know. Sometimes I want to learn about their religion and all of those people, and but then it's like I don't know the extent to which I should, because I don't want to get to the point where I cross over into the threshold of confusion.
Yeah.
I want to stay in the safe zone where like I'm learning to understand, but not to get mad.
Yeah. So it's good to learn to understand, like to understand what the person believes in and why they believe what they believe, so you can talk to them.
Yeah, true. For conversation wise, like that's makes sense.
I think I was thinking more around like the fact that I think the question you asked me around ask questioning God. Do you think that we're supposed to like feel guilty about questioning God, or is it just like a normal part of our walk with God?
Yeah, I feel like it's a normal like aspect of working with God, even though I did used to feel guilty, like, and sometimes I do still feel guilty when I question God, but I feel like, as I said, like when I was doing my research for this topic, it kind of gave me like a better understanding that it's okay. I just need to know like my intention behind. I just need to know that these questions are not going to make me rather draw away from God, but rather like draw closer to Him. So, yeah, I think it's a normal aspect of working with God.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say to someone that felt guilty for questioning God?
First of all, I would say that there are so many examples of people that ask or question God, right? Like there are so many psalms that talk about why. There are so many questions that Job asked when he was in affliction. Even Jesus, when he was going to die, he was asking questions. Even on the cross, he was asking questions. you're not supposed to feel guilty about it, right? It's like it's a part of the journey. Like it's not everything we know, and it's not everything we are going to know until yeah.
God comes.
Yeah, so it's good to ask the question, but then as we've spoken about, it's more around like your intention, what your motive is. Is it you challenging God, or is you asking genuinely to find out or to understand why God is doing certain things in your life and what plans He has for you? Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So from the whole discussion, I feel like the question shouldn't really be like, is it, can you question God and still have faith? It should be like, after you've questioned God, what comes next? Does it draw you closer to Him, or does it draw you away
Yeah.
from Him?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Bye.